The city never sleeps.
Nice for you to show up. Just kidding.
And neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. Visionaries, creators, leaders. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
Woo. Gentlemen, good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Jose? How are you, Sifu?
I'm exceptional, getting better every day, my friend.
Excellent.
My brothers. So listen, we have an incredible show today. I love that this topic is the yes factor. And guess who said yes to us? Renee. So let's go ahead and bring her in.
Good morning.
Renee. Thank you for saying yes.
Well, how could I miss an opportunity to be with this powerhouse group?
Right there. You just said the most important thing. Yes is an opportunity. And you didn't miss it. So there. I think that's pretty powerful.
Yes.
Start.
Jose's thinking. If I could just jump in real quick. Something has been on my spirit. When I was thinking about the word yes, I've said yes to things in the past. But the yes was more than just the word. Because sometimes you can say yes, but if your mind and your heart and your body don't believe it, it's just words.
Mm.
I like that.
When we consider the word yes, it's a statement. It's a sentence by itself, just like the word no. No is a full sentence. Yes is a full sentence. And for me, I always say when you say yes to one thing, you must say no to others. So one backs the other up. What are your thoughts on that?
This is true. When you say yes, vice versa is when you say yes to one thing, you have to say yes to other things as well. You know, yes to going to an event such as the event that's coming up in Atlanta, but then you have to say yes to all the other things that's entailed with that. Yes to connecting, yes to traveling, yes to being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. We lost Jose, but it must be technical difficulties. I'm sure he'll jump back in. And when we think of it as a factor, right? That's why I named it yes factor.
Yes.
Because there's facts behind a yes. There's a proponent that we have to really think about. Sometimes we say yes too quick and regret it. We regret it. For example, the thought came to mind when somebody is proposed to and the person being proposed to is not ready. And the answer may not be what the person expected. Because just because you expect a yes doesn't mean you always get a yes. Sometimes there's a maybe involved. there's a let me think about it. There's also a no involved. So imagine if somebody's proposing to a person, they pull out the ring, and but the person is surprised. They never even considered it. And all of a sudden, the person is put in front of a moment in their life that can change forever. Yet they didn't have enough time to consider it. I'm just the thought that came to me.
So expounding on that what that means, that you have to be careful about what you say yes to. Are you ready to say yes? And if you are ready to say yes, are you ready to say yes to all those things that involve with that first yes that you said to? So that's an interesting way as well.
Is anybody hearing that, or is it just
Yes. No. It's
I really understand.
There's some weird noise going on somewhere.
yeah, the feedback. I definitely.
So we all are saying no to the feedback, but the feedback is saying yes to us.
I know.
Everybody's trying to ignore it, but it's getting in our souls because I can hear it.
See, if you have you tried to get off and get back on?
I've done it. Yes.
Yes.
Well, moving on. In terms of peace, and I'll try to talk while I teach myself at the same time. But I can say
Here's
that.
an idea. Before you go, Jose, why don't we all mute while one person speaks? And guess what? We have somebody else who's jumping in, and I love this part. He said yes as well. Coach Tio Clay.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, you all. Yeah, man.
Good morning. Yeah.
I saw that topic, man. I said yes.
Yes.
So, Coach Tio, what we're going to do is because we're having some weird feedback. So while one person is speaking, Jose is about to go, we're all going to mute ourselves. And then we'll just keep playing with that button for now. So
Okay. I cannot hear a background now. Okay, good. So that worked. So in terms of what I was saying with the yes piece, yes, I agree, Sifu, with what you said, and Renee, you brought up some great points as well. When you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else, right? So that's I think that's something that you've always said since I met you, and that's important. But remember as well that whatever it is that you're looking for in life usually comes with a series of affirmative, decisive yeses, right? I can tell you, I've said yes to a lot of powerful things that have changed my life. I said yes to a phone call that I was maybe concerned about taking, right? I said yes to a difficult conversation that turned a relationship around. I said yes to an invitation to go to a networking event that I felt I didn't belong in the room because I wasn't as big as all the other players in the room. And I said yes to it, and I opened up some relationships that I would have never have had. I've said yes to a partnership and a collaboration that I didn't know where it would go. I was a little concerned about it, but I said yes to it, and it opened up some amazing opportunities for me. I said yes to a stage or two, actually to many stages, to where I was like, oh my gosh, this stage is pretty big. This stage is kind of scary. Some of the people in the room are doing 3, 4, 5 times what I'm doing. And it's kind of concerning because what are they thinking about me? Why is Jose on the stage, right? So just these things, these thoughts that cross our minds. I said yes to a mastermind, actually 3 masterminds in my life that were tens of thousands of dollars, right? That most people would look at and be like, I'm not going to pay that much money. That's outrageous. That's like buying a vehicle, right? I've said yes to a coach. I've said yes to all kinds of things. And that is what compounds over time. And in the process of saying yes, you're going to have to say no. But I believe it's the cumulative yeses, not just a yes. One yes is not going to change your life. It might change a season of your life, but not your life as a whole. So it's just a matter of continuously seeking the yeses that are going to stretch you and are going to make you think bigger and behave in ways that you probably wouldn't, and it's going to put you in scary situations that ultimately is what is required to grow.
Very interesting, Jose. Thank you for that share. It is important, right? Sometimes we are not 100% sure what we're saying yes to, like that phone call, what the outcome is, but we take a chance, right? Right now, I took a chance, and if I win, I will be at Fashion Week, me, little old me, at Fashion Week in New York, and I will be on the red carpet, and I will be actually walking as a model. I don't consider myself a model, but my story is what's going to get me on that stage. Also, a lot of votes. So everybody here, I'm going to put it on my Facebook later. So hopefully you will vote for me. Here's the thing. The reason that they're doing this is because it's a story that changes lives. And that's why they're doing it at Fashion Week. And everybody walking, it's not about the shape of body you have, or the color of your skin, or the gender, or your height, because you don't have to be a tall model to walk down the runway, because every day we walk down a runway. It's how you present yourself. So my story is one that may be one that we can share to inspire other people. And that's the only reason I said yes to this opportunity, because I want to help others. And sometimes we don't know what's the outcome with that yes. Maybe I will win. Maybe I won't even come in at any point. But I said yes to the opportunity. Like Renee started today. Say yes to an opportunity. You never know where it can actually take you. I'm going to mute now.
If I may, I'd like to expound on that, because now I'm getting a clearer thought process of the question, and thanks to Jose and yourself. But one of the things I always speak about is saying yes to opportunity, and also saying yes to that inner voice that's inside of us. We all have an inner voice, and that inner voice speaks to us. That inner voice knows what is locked inside of us, and it's always telling us to go for more. The problem is, a lot of times people don't listen to the inner voice because they want to get out their comfort zone, or they're fearful. But when you say yes to that inner voice, and when you say yes to opportunity, it opens you up to being the person that you were meant to be. So it's almost like aligning yourself with who you were always meant to be. But we have to say yes to that inner voice. So that yes is so important, because one yes, as Jose had said before, leads to many other yeses and possibly no's, because sometimes you have to be able to understand that this situation is not for you. But the point that I'm making is that you have to listen to the inner voice that speaks to you. And I feel inner voice is God, and God is you, and you are God. And I'm not trying to push religion off on anybody, but because God knows what he created, he knows what he's given you. And it's about saying yes and getting out your comfort zone, walking through your fears, and being the person that you were meant to be. And that all starts with those three letters, YES.
I'd love Coach Teo to come on if you can, Renee. Thank you. And expand on this, right? Drop in the comments what you said yes to this week. And I love that you put that up there. Love to get your idea and concept on that. And then Renee, you're up.
Yes, my brother. Man, I say yes to yeah, that feedback, that echo is serious. I said yes to
Mute yourself, Sifu. Mute yourself.
yeah. I said yes to the echo several times. I said yes and then said yes, 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 yes. Um, and just again, I dropped that in the comments for those out there that's with us today, because there's something, just like Lancelot, my good brother, just said, man, there's something that is within you that you said yes to that makes all the difference in the world. Because Jose just said it, man. I love the note taking, man. Say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. That's a bar right there. I mean, Jose, you dropped many bars, obviously, but you're saying no to something else. You're saying no to yourself again. You're denying the procrastination. You're denying the imposter syndrome. You're denying something of yourself when you do say yes and you go for what you know. You may not have, the clear picture, but you have to say yes, man. If I didn't say yes, I wouldn't be on this call right now 100%. That may sound cliche, you all, but it's the truth. Each one of you know my story personally. Some of you out there rocking with us, you know my story. Man, I said yes to I'm going back home and I'm gonna tell my parents I don't want to be out in these streets anymore. And man, here I sit. I saw Lancelot last night, the reel that he dropped yesterday. He said yes to writing a book, and that turned into Guinness Book of World Records. That turned into, traveling the world, speaking as an international speaker. It saying yes is the only thing to do. Because if you say yes to God, He's going to follow your steps, Sifu. Leading you. He's following you and leading you. He's got you from all sides. So yeah, saying yes is dope, man. That's the play. Say yes.
I am loving this conversation. Jose started, actually, Lancelot, you said the alignment, saying yes, making sure that it's aligned with that inner voice and the echo. Coach Tio, you said yes to the echo. And I'm going to throw out a different perspective. I was, for most of my life, it's always been yes, yes. And then it's the words, but sometimes the heart isn't there. You want to be there for every single person. And so sometimes that yes for others is saying no to you. And when I made the decision to say yes to myself, it meant sometimes saying no to others so that I could say yes to me, having an opportunity of a lifetime for in your career, and saying no opened up the possibility that you don't require any permission and you can continue to say yes. And that's that moment when you feel the alignment with your mind and your body. And so now, once you have that first real authentic yes, not just the words that you think people want to hear, but you really feel it in your body and it's aligned with that inner voice, your true self, your higher power. It is all alignment. That yes feels completely different. So now when I say yes, the yes is for me. It is yes for the purpose. It is yes for the opportunity to be in rooms and to create experiences that make people their better selves.
Yes, yes, and yes, Renee, that was strong. Thank you for sharing your insights. I love this Tuesday mornings piece. It's always a learning experience. I walk away with my own notes and thoughts to ponder. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I hear like a couple lines or certain things, like it tends to be a point to ponder for the rest of the day. And it kind of like gives you that compass to navigate for that particular day. And it's really nice. So in terms of a thought here, this is a strong thought that I think could really be something we should all consider. That opportunities in general, right? Oh, they're delivering water. Very nice. Opportunities in general are very rarely, if ever, showing up in your life wearing a name tag, saying, "Hey, I have an opportunity. Here I am." Right? So that's an important concept. It's kind of a silly concept, but opportunities rarely, if ever, basically they don't show up wearing a name tag. You're not going to see it and be like, "Oh, that's an opportunity right there." Like now as you mature in business and in life, yeah, you're going to start to spot some things. You're going to say, this feels like an opportunity. It's never going to just announce itself, though. And it's never going to have a name tag. So it might be a networking event. It might be a particular book that you might pick up and read, like the one I'm reading right now from Tony Robbins. It might be a referral. It might be a difficult client that you have, and Lord knows there's an endless plethora of that. It might be a podcast interview. It might be, traveling somewhere like Santorini, Greece, where we just went. It might be something. It's a mastermind event. I mean, you name it. But opportunities a lot of times don't show up in front of your face where you're like, that's an opportunity, but you have to be open to it. You have to be willing to say yes to the right things, right? And the crazy thing is, in hindsight, years later or months later, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I see the significance of that event that I went to. I see the significance of me shaking that hand that I almost didn't go walk over and say hello to that person. I see where this relationship has gone that I could have just not tried to fix. I see how trying to save that difficult relationship, now a year and a half later, look at all the things we've done together. If I wouldn't have tried to fix that relationship, imagine what would have happened. So we won't see the significance of our yeses until much later, a lot of times.
And I like that.
Go ahead.
I like that, Jose, and what it means to me, because like you said, we learn, and I ponder once these calls are done. And what you just said is very interesting in that it's not one yes, it's a series of yeses that will really flush out the opportunity. And that's important to understand, is that one yes is not going to get you there. It's one yes that leads to another yes, which leads to another yes. But that initial yes is listening to that inner voice telling you to make a move. But once you make that move, then you have to continue to navigate yourself with the proper yeses. And it's not always yes. You have to be able to understand there's no's out there, but it's a series of yeses that will bring you to ultimately the opportunity that you're looking for. Because like you said, there's not going to be no name tag saying this is opportunity right here. But what there is a series of yeses that you navigate to, and in order to get to that opportunity. And that's very interesting to ponder.
I got to say that I have a bunch of friends in Hollywood, and some of them are script readers, and their yeses mean a lot, because their yeses actually can make millions. Their no's are also very heavy for the people who want to get involved. And so when they make the decision that it's a yes, it's full hands-on. This means that we're going to spend millions of dollars to make this yes possible. So when we acknowledge that someone said yes to an opportunity that we present, we should also consider the power of their decision to say yes to us. Whatever opportunity we're sharing, whether they maybe want to be coached by us, they want to come to an event that we're doing, whether they say even yes on a date, that's powerful. And we should not take it for granted and expect a yes from everyone we approach. Just like we're doing with the New York City Mastermind Experience in Atlanta. We've reached out to so many people, and many of them said, nope, or never even responded. And the question that I have for anybody who has said no is, I hope that you put weight behind that no, because the yes may turn things around for you. It may give you a client you never imagined you would have. It may give you an opportunity that you didn't know was available. It may give you a connection that, as I love what Jose says, that connection may not be the connection that creates millions for you, but that connection could be a lead to a power connection that can make a difference in your life. So when we say no, we have to weigh it as well, because the yes may have more weight than the no. Just thought I'd share that with you guys.
Another aspect too, Sister Renee, brothers, what are you really saying yes to? You have to ask yourself that, man. I'm asking myself right now, man, what am I saying yes to? Just like Renee said, you could be saying yes to all the wrong things. You could be saying yes to porn, and it's affecting your marriage. You could be saying yes to chasing bread or money or loot or cash, and it can be affecting relationships. So it's so many aspects of the yes, but those key factors that you keep hearing, alignment, those factors that you keep hearing, uh, looking within. We talk about it so much, man. I said yes to going to Manassas, Virginia. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at the time. I lived in DC for a long time, so it was snow on the ground. It was cold. I knew, like, man, I want to stay put down here in the South, man. There's no snow. But saying yes to that, the man that's on this screen, good brother Jose Escobar, we were able to really embrace and go to a deeper level of relation and pause. But we were able to go on a deeper level of relation to the point to where, man, saying that particular yes in that moment. And what was that, Jose? 3-4 years ago, something like that. Here we sit today, about to come together again for the New York City Mastermind Experience in Atlanta, Georgia, man. And you're right, Sifu. We're reaching out to people, and we understand it, man. We're big boys, big gals. We know some people's going to say no, but the ones that say yes, we're forging new opportunities, new connections. I'm telling you, that's where it's at. We've all sit there at one time or another. I've talked to Renee in deep level conversation, talked to Seafood, talked to Jose. I've talked to Lancelot in deep level conversation. We've all come to those grips of that brick wall of knowing that, man, if I don't say yes to this particular situation, it's going to hurt me more. If I do say yes to this particular situation, it's going to take me to where I know I can't go, just sitting here stagnant. So uh, you see it at the bottom of the screen. It's masters on this call right now. Farrah out there, I think you're in Baltimore. Our brother Chris Martin's in the chat, tuning in from Sydney, Australia. Uh, I'm telling you, you wouldn't be here if you didn't say yes this morning. And same applies for us. We have to say yes as well. So Angeline put in the chat too, Sifu. She said yes, and she ended up in Santorini, Greece. And Santorini, Greece is beautiful, but it's what she experienced while she was there, man. It's the gains that she was able to amass. So say yes, man, or say no, and be able to do that discernment within you, whether or not which direction it leads you. But we'd love to see you in Atlanta come September 25th through the 27th. Reach out to us.
I have two thoughts here. Thought number one, thank you, Tio, for those amazing insights. And yes, it's been a number of years since we built that deeper relationship in Manassas. I remember it like it was yesterday. I still recall us hanging out there, intimate, having a conversation. But yeah, so the first thought I have is I love this game of like Family Feud where whoever hits the button first gets to speak. That's pretty fun. So I'm like this. I was just waiting for Tio to say his last word, and I'm like, boom! Oh, I did it. So anyway, just kidding. But on a serious note, my main thought that I have here is it's interesting that the cost of saying no is usually invisible, right? A lot of us can calculate tangibly in some capacity what a yes would mean. Okay, if I say yes to this, that means I could get this, this, this. So it's easier to calculate what the yes could mean for you, even though it's not wearing a name tag, even though opportunity, which goes to what I was saying earlier, even though the opportunity doesn't have a name tag, you can still kind of on some level understand what this yes could mean, right? It's easier to calculate that to some degree. The no, right? The actual cost of saying no, which we talked about earlier, very few people, if any, actually take the time to calculate what a no could mean, right? And what does that mean? A no could mean, okay, what relationships never actually happened? How do you calculate that? What relationships never happened? Who is that person I could have met that you would have opened up a bunch of new revenue for my business? Who's that person I could have met that would have led me to my future spouse? That I've been single for a while looking for my spouse, and I could have met that one person who introduced me to somebody who ended up being my spouse. Who, take that one step further. If I would have met that person in that room, that person would introduce me to my potential spouse, and my spouse would have had children with that person. And imagine what that would look like. That's the cost of the no that we don't calculate, right? What about revenue, right? The revenue that never came in. Think about that. I mean, these are thoughts that make you like, oh my gosh, like this is powerful, right? What about the business that never existed because you never said yes, you said no, right? Think about all of the clients you could have had, or you met somebody who didn't become your client at a particular event, but they introduced you to somebody who became your client, and that person became a referral partner that introduced you to 10 more clients. Can you calculate that no of not being in that room? Or what about the confidence you never developed? Man, we can keep going on this subject. I mean, the no could be extremely costly if you're not careful. So remember, sometimes the biggest expense in business is not the investment that you made in A, B, or C, or E, whatever, D and E. It's what the opportunity that you said no to, the one that you declined, or the one that you never even responded to, unfortunately.
Exactly.
So I do have this cool little thing right here that I can hit a button and mute or unmute. See? So I said yes to technology. So I do have it at the fingertips, right? Really, really easy. I don't have to use my mouse or anything like that. When and I love what you talked about, Jose, it's the consequences of our decision. Because no has consequences, yes has consequences. And it's about choosing what consequences we're willing to deal with. I think that every day we're presented with opportunities, but we're so blinded by life that we miss them. If you're on this call and there's a bunch of people watching from all different places, and if you watch this on the replay and you don't realize the opportunity that's in front of you and you haven't bought your ticket, then that's okay. That's on you. But every day we are presented with opportunities. I wake up every morning in gratitude. Every morning I wake up, the first thing I am grateful. I'm alive. I survived. I get a chance to do this again, maybe do it better. This is why I say every time exceptional and getting better every day, because I do not want to be stagnant or be the same that I was yesterday. Because during my night, I channeled my inner wisdom to make me better. I asked God to give me guidance while I sleep, to make my brain think of opportunities, of things that can actually happen. And so yesterday, I created another opportunity for me because I also own businesses. And for me to be able to be on top of my business, I got to stay in the game. So I'm going to Jacob Javits Center in New York. It's not a speaking opportunity. It's a white label buying opportunity. And what that means is that I can bring products into my businesses that allow it to be as if I created them. And that's what white label is. You kind of own it, right? Even though somebody else made it. So for example, has anybody ever bought M&Ms and they had their little names put on it, like for a baptism or anything like that? You've seen, I've been to places and I'm like, oh, those are cool M&Ms. How come your name's on it? And they're like, oh, we paid extra, because they wanted to white label it, if you will, just to make it look like it's their candy. So that's an opportunity that we can take, but we have to sometimes look for the opportunities before we can even say yes to the opportunity. We have to seek it. So the Jacob Javits Center convention that I'm going to, I'm just going to be in the crowd. I'm going to be looking at different vendors, different opportunities that I have to say yes to. So my yeses are going to impact my future. So consequences is what's really important. So let your yeses have weight. Don't say yes just to say yes and just to get somebody out of your face. Like, yeah, get away from me. Yeah, sure. And then later on, they come back and you go, remember you said yes? And you're like, I never said yes. Like, that's not true. So think about the consequences behind every yes that you do and put some weight behind it before you blurt that 3-letter word out. Before you do so, consider it. Think about it. Sometimes you may even have to sleep on it.
I want to, if I may, expound on this saying yes. I know just recently I had to make a decision and choice last night, and there's a when you make a decision, the cost for that, and there's also a cost for not making a decision. There's a cost for saying yes, but there's also a cost for saying no. So you have to, when you get in these situations, evaluate what are you saying yes to and who you're saying yes to. So yesterday, I had an opportunity to get a ticket to come on out to Atlanta to be with T.O. and Mike so that we could do boots on the ground so that we can help, make this event in September as quality as possible. And I had to decide, am I going to pay the money for this ticket, which is more expensive because it's at the last minute? And I made the choice to say yes because the who I was saying yes to. It's not just the opportunity, it's the people that you're involved in that opportunity that matter to me. Because as I weighed it out, I said, this is an opportunity for me to continue to grow in our relationship. Is that worth the cost? And I said, absolutely. Secondly, we're out there, boots on the ground, in order to make this event as, do what we can to make it as good as possible. I said yes to that. And then from saying yes after doing some evaluation, I then said yes to paying the money in order to get there by plane. But the point I'm making is your yeses are based off of not just the opportunity, but who these opportunities are being provided by and the people that you're with. Are they worth saying yes to? And in this particular situation, I felt that these people, that the least I would be able to do is establish and continue to grow our relationship. So the yeses, there's what's the saying? Well, I can't remember the saying right now, but that's the point I wanted to make. Oh, there's a cost to say, I'm sorry, here it is. There's a cost to do something, but there's also a cost not to do something, and you have to evaluate that.
With that in mind, let's share what people you're talking about.
We are here in Tampa, Florida for the NYC Mastermind Experience. It was an absolutely epic weekend.
This was our 5th one, the 6th one. Coming up in Hot Atlanta, that's right, Atlanta, Georgia, and our host, the great T.O. Clay.
Hey, you don't want to miss it. Come September, the new Hollywood of the South, ATL, baby. Make sure from NY to Tampa to Atlanta, Georgia. Can't wait to see you there. Peace.
Light up the city, every rise tonight. Every speaker bringing down in that fire, that light. No funny, no fear, just truth on the mic. It's the NYC life, we unite, light up.
Wow.
Wow.
That was powerful.
That was powerful.
Lancelot, when you said
the
who you are saying yes
you
to,
were saying yes to,
that is so powerful
that
because
is so
many times
powerful
we
because
sit
many
in
times we
rooms
sit in rooms
and we're
and
waiting
we're waiting
for somebody to
waiting
give
for
us
somebody to
permission
give us
to say
permission
yes.
to
Yourself,
say
Sifu.
yes.
Yourself.
And oftentimes when you get that, when you know that who's behind the yes, who you're saying yes to, that matters. Sometimes your body, your mind may not want to say yes, but if I know who I'm saying yes to, that's going to make an impact because that energy is going to give me that confidence to move forward because I know when I'm connected to certain people, there's protection in providing that yes. And as a spiritual person, sometimes I want to say the yes. I have it in my gut. And you have that thought of somebody reinforces it. You might talk to someone. I might talk to Coach Tio. I might talk to Jose. And they didn't know that I was contemplating or thinking, I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. But then asking that one question, what is it worth to you? What is your yes worth? And what is the cost of your no? And when you think about that, sometimes you have to look beyond what you see in front of you. If you just respond no based on what you see, that's a limitation, but the opportunity is behind the yes. And the yes is sometimes you're stepping out on faith, but many times you're stepping out on faith and trusting that the energy, trusting that your purpose, trusting that you are aligned with who you are and who needs to be around you and what's that next step. So getting out of your comfort zone and giving yourself permission to say yes and open yourself up to the opportunity that's behind that yes.
So I'm the culprit. I'm going to say yes to being guilty because I realize I'm making sure you all have the echo cancellation on. And then when you said mute yourself, and I hear echoes by Angeline, and then I said, maybe I should check mine. And guess what? Mine was not checked off. So that's why this. So I bet you if you unmute yourselves, you're not going to hear it anymore. So I'm the culprit. Try it. Let's give it a shot. You hear echoes anymore?
No.
Nah,
It was
No.
me.
we don't.
Oh my gosh. So I said, yes, I messed up.
Yeah, man.
That makes things
No,
easier. That makes things easier.
Oh no, there it goes.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there.
It's coming through the speakers.
Coming through the speakers.
Okay.
All right. Well, who wants to speak then? We'll mute ourselves again.
I definitely got to build on two things. The one you just said it. I wrote it down. Based on what you see, can be the limitation. That's what you just said, Renee. I know someone right now that's watching this. They have that limitation, and it's based on what they see. It's based on I really don't know Lancelot, man. He's a handsome guy, charismatic, but I don't know that dude, man. Jose, same thing. You know, he's a Washington Redskins fan. I love the Cowboys, so it's based on what people see. Yeah. So that limitation that you just spoke of, Renee, is so potent. It is so powerful. I mean, because again, we could do a whole episode on manifestation. How many times did you all manifest something here? It starts here, man. As soon as you say yes here in that manifestation, then you're sitting there and it feels like deja vu. And you're like, holy crap, man, I saw this. You know, you learn so many things about yourself just when you take that opportunity. So again, key point, just reiterating what my sister Renee said, man, don't limit yourself based off your stinking thinking. It's your stinking thinking to keep you there forever. And tomorrow's not promised. You're not guaranteed to live to see 50, 80, whatever the case. So think about that, man. If you don't hear anything else throughout this dang on episode, man, it's those limitations that stop you from greatness, that stop you from purpose, stop you from your calling, stop you from showing up and doing the things that your heart says that you really want to do, but you let this, the saboteur thinking, stop you. And the second piece, and I'll be brief, um, the people. Man, it is so crucial. I went to the New York City Mastermind Experience 3 times in 2025. And all 3 times was just like what my brother Lancelot just conveyed. I wanted to be there because the Sifu's gonna be there, because Jose's there, Lancelot's there, Mike Stevens is there. People that I truly straight up and down love, man. That I know is not gonna hurt me. I know is not gonna sit there and jive talk me or bull crap me. I'm 49, man. I'll be 50 August the 10th. I don't have time to be around people that ain't really for me or for my family. So yeah, the experience is all of that inclusive. And you get to go downtown and see people ice skating at the Rockefeller Center. And you get to, get a microphone and express yourself. Those things are so crucial. So it really, man, Lancelot, you hit home, bro. You got me buzzing right now. We need the bullhorn, burn, 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 blowing, because it is the people. It really is the people, man. Whether that's Ed, Mollett, whether that's Myron Golden, whether that's E.T., the hip hop preacher, whoever it is, those are individuals, but they're still people. And when they see your light, man, it's special. Yeah, bro. People, man.
Tio, I have to jump in on that. You said people, and I noticed that somebody is in the chat, Stephanie Johnson. And when you think about the power of yes, beautiful, beautiful sister, friend, just a beautiful soul. And I'm thinking about the power of the yes. My yes to Stephanie connected me to all of you, of saying yes to meeting with Jose and just starting the chain of things. So not knowing that, yeah, I'll have a conversation. So that one conversation and being open to the possibility and opportunity, there was absolutely no way. But I trusted the person that I was saying yes to, who was helping to connect me to numerous people. And so I'm just grateful for choosing and deciding to say yes, because my first thought was no. But the yes is definitely a powerful piece. And when you think about the who you're saying yes to, it's a winner.
Renee, I have to say, down and dirty. But here's the difference. Where opportunity meets preparation, that's where the magic happens. You were prepared. That's why you're here today. You wasn't half-stepping. So yeah, the people, but that preparation and you know who you are makes the manifestation of today. Yeah, bro.
Okay, like Family Feud, like Jose said. All right. And just to build on what you just said, again, it's preparation beats opportunity, but who is the opportunity with? And again, for those that are skeptical or on the fence, I would say do your research. Do your research of who you have in the room. Because I promise you, with the people on this call here today are quality. And you could just do your research and find that every one of us in our own right is quality and are people that you would want to be around and you would want to connect with. And that's just it, just being real. Because a lot of times you don't know when you're first getting involved with people who, we got that feedback again, who they are. But as Jose always says, do your research. You know, figure out who Jose is, figure out who Renee is, figure out who T.O. is. And once you've done your research, it'll be much more comfortable to be able to say yes, knowing who you're saying yes with.
Okay. Family Feud button, hitting the button, testing. All right, very good. So love all the points that were made so far. Excellent points. And yes, Renee, you're so right. Thank you, Dr. Stephanie, for the connection to Renee, because I didn't know Renee until the connection was made. And then, we built a friendship and a bond, and then you ended up meeting all these different people. And here we are today. And it all happened because of a yes. It happened because you had the faith to say and the courage to say, you know what, I need more, I want more, and I'm going to go out on a limb and see where this goes. And here you are, right? And this is just the beginning of what we're all doing together, right? Because again, one opportunity leads to another, and momentum creates more momentum. So, but I have an interesting point to make here since we're on this subject matter. And that is that a lot of people, if we've noticed, if we paid attention, they say yes to people when they need them, when they're desperate, right? We have to learn to say yes to people before we need them. Okay, we have to get into the space of just saying yes to opportunities when we see it. And visionaries, leaders can see beyond what most people see. I can look at something simple and say, oh, this could be this, and could be this, and could be this. I see like a chessboard, right? Multiple moves down the line, right? So we have to be able to have that skill set. That's a skill set that you develop over time. The ability to see beyond what's in front of you. And that's a skill set that a lot of leaders and visionaries have. So don't build relationships only when you're desperate, right? And this is a common thing. I'll tell you something that happens to me all the time. And some of you might have experienced this in your own business in your own way. But I've had people tell me no about joining Connected Leaders Academy, right? Which we're all members of on this platform right now. They're like, you know what? No, I'm not ready to join Connected Leaders Academy. I want to wait until I launch my book. My book is almost done. Once I have the book out, then I'll join your group. Or I have a course that's being worked on right now. Once the course is ready to go and out the gates, then I'll join your group. And I've heard all kinds of examples like that, multiple examples of I'm working on this thing, and once that thing is done and ready to be sold, then I'll join your group. You know what that tells me? That tells me that you are ready to join when you're ready to sell people things. That's what it tells me. It tells me that you are ready to jump in an opportunity when you're ready to start needing the people. And I tell people that's a political move. That's like politicians, not to get into politics, but politicians show up aggressively when they're ready to get your vote, right? When they're when they're out there in the field trying to get your vote, they're going to come and hug you and kiss your baby and take pictures with you, and they're going to show up, and they're going to start to show up everywhere. And they're going to start to get involved and say yes to all the things because they need you, right? So don't be the politician in business, right? Show up and build the relationships before you need them. And guess what? When you are ready with the thing, guess who's going to show up naturally for you? Ooh, the relationships you built in a community that you said yes to before you needed it.
Wow, Jose, I got to tell you, I love that concept. I had a member of mine who he was a young adult, and he said, you know, my dad's going to come and watch me take class. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Little did I know his dad was a politician. His dad didn't just show up. He brought media with him. so they can show him coming to a business so he can, get the opportunity. He didn't just come to see his son. He came because it was an opportunity for him to say, look at me, look at me, look at me. And later on, I got to know the man, not the politician. So I would go to his house for dinners and all these different things. But the first time I met him was under this disguise of, I'm here because it serves me. Later on, I got to know him as a man and have his phone number and the whole deal. But it made a difference getting to know him, because had I not gotten to know him, I would have always thought of him as an opportunist, not as a great person. So thank you for sharing that. And before I let go of the mic, I want to share something with you guys. Take a look.
The New York City Mastermind Experience here in Tampa is like no other. The room is electric. The people are having a great time, and I'm so proud to be one of the speakers. I can promise you, if you're not at any of these events, you're missing out, because today was an incredible day, a life-changing day for everybody who was here. All of the New York City Mastermind experiences are a must-to go. If you're looking to impact your life and take it to the next level, if you're looking to improve your business, your relationship, your finances, any of those things and more, you have to be in the room to meet the right people. There's somebody in every one of these rooms that are going to impact you and change your life for the rest of your life. Why wait at home on the couch when you could be here doing something incredible? The New York City.
I just want to tell you that I watched that, and every time I watch it, we didn't pay Danny Z to say those words. Those came from the heart. He's a man who performs all over the world, and he took time. He said yes to coming to our event and being our keynote speaker. And man, did he blow us away. Everybody here, would you agree that he blew us away?
Absolutely. Ding.
I like Danny Z's staff of people. Well, I wouldn't call him a staff, but his brothers. He had brothers there with him. A few times I've seen him from Tampa to Philly, up there with Emilio and Daniela. Shout out to them. He's got strong people around him. Again, back to the people. They understand the moments in which Danny Z being who he is, the individuals that he has around him, so down to earth. It gets in the mix and talking with people and really opening up their heart for the moment. So I think that's special when it comes to Danny Z. Shout out to Dan.
One of the things I really wanted to meet Danny Z, because prior to Tampa, we had him on the New York City Mastermind Experience, this call. And he's an artist like myself, and he's traveled around the world. He's been performing for many years. And he had said something that I had never really, as an artist, thought about. And he said, anytime he goes to an event, at the level he's at as an artist and a performer, he always goes in any event trying to help everybody else have the best experience that they possibly can have. And for me, I had never heard of that before. Going into an event as the keynote speaker, but he's worried about how every other person in the room is experiencing the room. So he's there to serve them, meaning the participants at the event. And I had to see if that was true, because I found that to be fascinating. As the keynote speaker, that's like Tony Robinson coming in and then making sure everybody in the room is comfortable and having a good time, and he's helping people set up and see if you need chairs moved. And when I went there, and after hearing him speak, I said, oh yeah, this guy is authentic. You can feel the passion, you can feel the love and concern that he has for other people. And after that day, I wanted to be more like Danny Z, because he was authentic, and what he said, he meant, and what he meant, he said. And that is my experience of Danny Z, our keynote speaker. I was blown away by him, and some of the things, you know, he lost his son, and I think that's a lot where that passion comes from. But whatever it is, I felt it and wanted to be more like him after coming out of Tampa. So big shout out to Danny Z.
Thank you for those thoughts, Lancelot. I'm a big fan of Danny Z as well. Big shout out to Danny Z, who's in the Bahamas right now, doing his thing. And yes, Danny Z, by the way, doesn't just drop compliments lightly. He's the kind of guy who he means what he says and says what he means, right? What you see is what you get. He's a real, genuine, down-to-earth guy. So thank you for those kind words about the NYC Mastermind Experience and for being our keynote in Tampa. That was fantastic. So my final thought, very quick, I'm just going to drop a quote for you guys, a quote that would resonate with everyone today. And not really an official quote, but it's a thought, right? So I can tell you, every successful entrepreneur, myself included, every successful entrepreneur, all of you on this platform here today, I promise you, they and I can trace their story back to a handful of courageous yeses along their journey, right? If you just trace back your journey of entrepreneurship and you trace back where you were and where you are now and where you're headed, you can easily trace it back to some courageous yeses, to where you said yes when you felt like the itch to say no, but you said yes in the midst of the challenge, in the midst of the circumstances, in the midst of the fear, in the midst of all the things that we all go through when we want to say yes to something that might be outside of our reach in the moment for whatever reason. It could be timing, it could be circumstances, it could be support, it could be financial, it could be whatever, but we said yes anyway. And I always say winners find a way to win. So I can tell you, September 25th to the 27th in Atlanta, Georgia, the NYC Mastermind Experience, co-hosted by none other than Coach T.O. Clay, which is going to be phenomenal. We want to see you there. Make the courageous yes and say yes and get your ticket, because I'm telling you, as you progress your journey in business and you look back, it's going to be these decisions that have accumulated over time that led you to where you are today. And today is a series of things that happened yesterday. So tomorrow is going to be what you do today. How bad do you want it? That's the question.
Say yes. Say yes.
Do us a favor and share this episode with somebody who needs to understand the power of yes. Because there is a power, and it's a 3-letter word. Thank you, everybody. Coach Teo, if you want to say one last thing, Renee and Lancelot. But I'm just going to say yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Notice I said it 3 times.
3 letters, yes.
3 letters, yes.
All right, guys, have a great week.
Have a great week.
T.O., I'll see you this weekend, buddy. Thursday. All right, guys.
Everyone who's in the room is all about giving. Everyone who show up here and who are in the room are just givers, and they just want everyone to become better and better entrepreneurs, better founders, better coaches, better givers. You are going to meet the best of the best in this room, and it's an intimate experience, right? Sometimes you go to events where there are hundreds or thousands of people, and here in the New York City Mastermind, it's an intimate experience. So you really get to know them. You get to know them as people and not as just a number that's out there. So I highly recommend New York City Mastermind to anyone.